हरि ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री हिरण्यगर्भाय नमः। ओम श्री महाविष्णवे नमः। ओम श्री महादेवाय नमः। ओम श्री महादुर्गायै नमः। ओम श्री राम रामाय नमः। ओम श्री सद्गुरवे नमः। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। भवानी शंकरो वंदे श्रद्धा विश्वासरूपिणो याभ्यां विना न पश्यन्ति सिद्धा स्वान्तस्तमीश्वरम्। शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। शङ्करं परमानन्दं ब्रह्मनिष्ठं यतीश्वरं भाष्यभ्रान्तिहरं वन्दे शुद्धज्ञानैकबोधकम्। ॐ नमः शिवाय 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 ॐ नमः शिवाय। नमः पार्वती पतये हर हर महादेव। हरि ओम हरि ओम। We'll begin with the Shanti mantra. Om आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक् प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदं माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत्। अनिराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणं मे अस्तु तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्माः ते मयि सन्तु Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. So Uddhalaka Muni is teaching his son Shvetaketu Brahma Vidya. And his method of teaching is most fascinating. Systematically, slowly, step by step, explaining everything, giving examples. The teacher teaches. So in the beginning, there was only that Sat, and now that Sat alone is there. Even now, Sat alone is there. Sat is that which never changes, which exists always. So, but we see the different names, forms. They are also expressions of Sat. They are all appearance of Sat alone. What we see are not false. What we see is not an imagination, but all this which we see as the world is all expression of that Sat Brahma. And even I, the seer, is the expression of that Sat Brahma alone. So other than Brahma, nothing is there. So the teacher also explains the process, the steps by which this world has come into existence. So first, spontaneously is born Hiranyagarbha. Then from Hiranyagarbha is born Vaishvanara. Then Vaishvanara gives birth to the Devatas, and he also creates the various worlds. Then he gives birth to the plants, and thereafter to all those beings who exist on plants, the animal, birds, human beings. So the main thing which we have to understand that at every process, at every step, that Sat Brahma alone exists. So even when Sat Brahma expresses as Hiranyagarbha, that Hiranyagarbha is just a name, just a form. The truth about Hiranyagarbha is Sat. Again, Hiranyagarbha gives birth to Vaishvanara. Vaishvanara is just a name, a form, an expression, an appearance. But what he really is Brahma. Then Hiranyagarbha makes this world, the Prithvi and all the lokas and all the devatas. So the Surya, Chandrama, our Earth, all the planets, the various galaxies, the billions and trillions of galaxies and the stars, all this is created by Vaishvanara from himself. And the teacher also teaches us how we can look at this world, how we can look at the fire and recognize that it is just made up of fire, water, and earth of the Mahabhut. So, fire, water, earth is Satyam, and fire, which we see, is Asatyam. But again, when we focus on fire, water, earth, they are also changing, so they are also Asatyam. And Tanmatras are Satyam. Then again, the Tanmatras also change. So that ultimately, that Sat alone is Satyam. Sadeva Satyam. Brahma alone is the ultimate Satyam, and everything else is Asatyam. Asatyam means changing. So what we see in a fire, the reddish color is that fire. What we see as white is the water element. What we see as black is the earth element. In this way, the teacher taught how to recognize the cause while seeing the effect. And here later on, he says that in the past, the great householders, they also followed this path, and they came to know the whole world as Brahma only, and no one remained in their family devoid of this knowledge. They all came to know that Supreme Brahma. So, in all, not only in fire, but they could see the presence of that Brahma in everything. So, all that is seen as reddish, they understood as fire, then white as the water, black as the earth. In this way, they came to understand all the forms, and understood that everything is expression of this Panchamahabhut. The Panchamahabhut themselves are expressions of Tanmatras. The Tanmatras are the expressions of the Ahankar Tattva. Ahankar Tattva is the expression of Mahat Tattva. Mahat Tattva is expression of Avyakta Prakriti. And Avyakta Prakriti is not different from Brahma. It is Brahma Shakti only. Therefore, everything is Brahma. Now, very interesting, the teacher now will tell us how we can recognize that cause while seeing our own body. Till now, he showed the world, he showed the sun, the moon, the lightning, the fire. But what about our own body? How to know that it is also expression of Brahma? What about our sense organs? What about our mind? What about the pranas? That also we should understand. Otherwise, we might think that Brahma is outside. Actually, this body, our own body, is also part of this world. Even our senses are part of this world. Our mind is also part of this world. So, here the teacher says that I will tell you how these three, fire, water, earth, these three devatas, when they enter our own body, how they further get split into three, how the Trivrit Karanam happens even within the human body, even within the human personality, how the Trivrit Karanam happens, that also the teacher will tell. See, in the first Trivrit Karanam, the Devtas are born. With the second Trivrit Karanam, the plants are born. But with the third Trivrit Karanam, actually the third Trivrit Karanam nourishes the human beings, animal, plants, and the three elements, they further gets more sophisticated within the human personality. And that is most fascinating thing which the teacher will now reveal in the from the next khand. So let us begin Panchama Khanda. The fifth section. We have already seen the four sections. So fifth section, first mantra we will chant. अन्नम अशितम त्रेधा विधीयते तस्य यः स्तविष्टो धातुः तत्पूरीशं भवति यो मध्यमः तन्मांसं यो निष्ठः तन्मनः. Again, अन्नम अशितम त्रेधा विधीयते तस्य यस्तविष्टो धातुः तत्पुरीशं भवति यो मध्यमः तन्मांसं यो निष्ठः तन्मनः. See, our human body is also made up of the five great elements which have undergone the process of Trivritkaram. So the human body, the animal bodies are more sophisticated than the plant bodies. They are more. They have undergone more the transformation process. So when we eat food, then this food which we eat gets further divided into our body into three parts. The food which we eat from the plants, actually we eat the plants because the plants are the food for animal, birds, human beings. And what do the plants eat? The plants eat the rain, they eat the sunlight, they eat the soil. In fact, the plants, they have the capacity to transform the energy which is there in the sun into oil, which gives them energy. Even the water which is falls as rain, it gets transformed into the plants to form different types of juices, rasa, which are like medicinal. They are most amazing. The number of medicines which are there in the plant, the variety of types of plants which are there in the world, a lot of them are getting extinct because of our misuse of this world. A lot of these floras are getting extinct. But still there are mysterious plants having very mysterious medicinal properties. Great Ayurvedic expert doctors and all, they know about the secret. Even the tulsi plant, which we have in our homes, the tulsi plant also has got amazing qualities. The rasa which is there in tulsi can revive a dying person also. So therefore, in our tradition, even when a person is very sick and almost dying, they put some tulsi rasa in his mouth or some Gangajal. Gangajal is also very powerful medicine, so that even in that condition, the person may again revive. So these plants, they eat the devatas actually. Their food are the devatas, the sun, the earth, the rain. And what do the devatas eat? The devatas eat the yajnas, what we offer them in the yajna kunda, the subtle through mantras and all. We chant mantras and we do the yajna, and we offer the havi and all the ingredients in the fire. They are actually the food for the devatas. Devatas get sustained when we follow our own dharma properly, it nourishes the devatas also. And in turn, the devatas bless us by giving us appropriate results. The devatas themselves are sustained by Vaishvanara. Vaishvanara is sustained by Hiranyagarbha, and Hiranyagarbha is sustained by the Brahma itself. So it's a beautiful, the whole system of this entire cosmos is most fascinating. So the plants, they eat the fire from that sun and converts it into energy within themselves. That energy is seen as oil. They convert the water element which they eat into different types of rasa, and they convert the solid soil which they eat into different, again, different structure of their body. And when human beings, animal, birds, they eat these plants, in turn they get the energy from the plants. The oil which we eat from the plants, then the solid food which we eat given by the plants, and the water which we drink or the juice which we drink, they enter our body, our system, and gets nourishes not only our physical body, but nourishes our sense organs, nourishes our karmendriyas, they nourish our antakarana also, and they nourish our pranas also. So here the teacher is saying that the food which we eat, it gets divided into our body, into our system. Our system is such that it divides this food. Outwardly, we see the food which is derived from the plants, but when it enters our body, it gets further divided, and that is what is called the Trivrit Karanam only happens. See, just like the light from the sun, what is the color of that light? It is just white. But when you keep a prism in between, the white light gets divided into 7 beautiful colors: violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. So the prism has got the potential to divide the white light into the 7 colors. Actually, the 7 colors are there in the white light, but it requires the prism to bring out the beauty of that white light into the 7 colors. Similarly, the food which we eat, it has got tremendous potential, and subtle energy is there in that food. So when we eat it, through the process which is happening in our mysterious process which is happening in our body, which is being done by Vaishvanara. Vaishvanara, therefore, whatever food we eat is digested by Vaishvanara. Not only the digestion, but all the activities which we do or everyone does is blessed by Vaishvanara only. And that Vaishvanara is Bhagwan himself. So, aham Vaishvanaro bhutva praninam dehamashritah pranapana samakrutva pachamyannam chaturvidham. That I, Bhagwan says, I as Vaishvanara enter your body, eat the food and digest the food. So when we eat the food and when the digestion process happens, different types of secretion happens, and so many things happen in our body. Though we say that, oh, I have eaten and I have digested, really speaking, that I, the ahankar, has not done anything. He is just claiming. claiming what is done by Vishwanara, because we don't even know the various things which are happening within our body. Depending on the type of food which we eat, different types of juices are secreted to digest them, to further disintegrate them, and to nourish the different organs of the body. And they not only get divided into something gross, but also something very, very subtle, which is so amazing. And this, what is the truth which is revealed here, is not understood yet by our science. Science is very, very far away. Science is singing what you call Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, when our scriptures are talking about something which even the PhD student will not be able to comprehend easily. So the annam ashitam tredha vidhiyate. The food which we eat gets divided into three. They become of three types. They get divided into three. Tredha vidhiyate. And what are the three? Yes, tavishtaha, the solid food. The gross solid food is one division. Then the medium in between. And the subtlest food, the subtlest element, the subtlest aspect of that food. So the solid food which is there, it gets excreted from our body. So stavishto dhatuhu tat purisham bhavati. So most of the food which we eat gets excreted. They are not required for the body. So the body throws them out. But the essence of that food is taken by the body. So the what you call slightly subtler than this gross portion of the food, slight subtle portion of the food, they go to make our muscles, they nourish our body. The subtle medium portion of the food nourish the body. So yo madhyamaha tan mamsam. So mams, the muscles, the fat, the body is nourished by the middle portion of the food. But the most amazing is the subtlest portion of the food. So once we eat it, it gets that subtler portion of the food, it goes to nourish our mind. And here when we say mind, it includes all the sense organs also. So our eyes, our ears, our nose, our skin, means the organs of perception. And the mind includes mana, buddhi, chitta, hankar. They get nourished by the subtlest expression aspect of the food. So, for example, we eat, let us say, we go to the temple or we go to the Gurudwara and we take the prasad in our hand, kada prasad, nice and warm and freshly made after offering to Bhagwan, freshly made, and what you call ghee and all. So I eat that prasad. Okay. I eat the prasad. So the subtlest portion or the gross portion of the prasad, after a few hours or after some time, gets eliminated from the body. Then the medium portion of the prasad goes to nourish our body, our muscles, our fats. But interesting is the subtlest portion, which cannot be seen, and especially when it is offered to Bhagwan, when it becomes prasad and all, it contains and those which are very sattvic, they contain more of the subtle portion. So this subtle portion of the food nourishes our mind. They go to make our mind. Therefore, there is a very famous saying even in Hindi कि जैसे खाए अन्न वैसे बने मन. As you eat, so you become. So your mind becomes like that. Our mind is nourished by food which we eat. Our senses, our mind are expression of food. Food means the plants. So the second Trivrat Karanam, that is the plant, when it is eaten, it gets further split into our body to form the third Trivrat Karanam. So our mind, our senses are the product of the third Trivrat Karanam. Our body, our mind, our senses are the product of the third Trivrat Karanam. They are nourished by the food which we eat, which are derived from the plants. Therefore, in the Upanishad also, in the Kathopanishad also, we have seen that it is indicated that the grossest are our senses. Subtler than the senses are the five elements. Subtler than the five elements is the samashti buddhi, etc. is mentioned there. So here the teacher is revealing this most fascinating secret of this world. So annam ashitam treda vidhiyate tasya yastavishto dhatuhu tat purisham bhavati yo madhyamah tan mamsam yo anishtah tan manah. Therefore, we should, as a sadhak, should take all care of what he or she eats, because the subtlest portion, if they are not in proper quantity, or if they are not proper with proper samskar and all, then it can affect our mind. It can affect our mind. Therefore, if we serve someone and eat their food and all, if that person is not proper, then our mind also gets affected. And this we see in the case of Bhishma Pitamaha also. He was a great person with so much of knowledge, vast knowledge, and great devotee of Bhagwan also. But he used to eat that food of Hastinapur and always serving that Dhritarashtra and all. So his mind also became affected by all this. Therefore, he fought against Bhagwan, he fought against the Pandavas. Though he knew, deeply he knew that what the Kauravas are doing is adharma. So the food which we eat, actually, it affects our mind. Therefore, there are those sadhaks who are very sincere and very dedicated to their path. They prepare their own food, simple food, and they eat, and they just pay a lot of attention to that, so that their mind doesn't get corrupted, and they can focus their attention on the supreme reality. Because the food, the subtlest aspect of the food, it gives that direction to our even our thinking, our emotions. For example, we go to the hotel and we eat. So the person who is cooking the food is cooking the food for the sake of money, so that he can get some money from out of it. He doesn't know who will eat. He just is cooking just like that. And the food is also sold and we eat. So the subtlest portion of the food is is not very shuddha. Its direction is materialistic. So after eating, our mind also starts moving towards the material world only. But when we go to a temple, when we go to an ashram, or even at home before eating, when we dedicate the food to Ishvara, when we say Brahmarpanam Brahmahavihi, and then we dedicate the food to Ishvara, not only Ishvara who is there in the whole world, who is there in the food, and who is there in our body also. So after dedicating, when we eat, then it stimulates the subtlest portion of that food, and it nourishes our mind and our senses in a very amazing way. So this is the most fascinating secret which the teacher has revealed here, which our traditionally everyone knows about it. Therefore, we always focus our attention on food. Whenever any ritual is there or any religious functions are there, always one pays attention to the food properly. That food should be brought the proper type of food, and it should be cooked properly and offered to Ishvara with proper devotion. And then when we consume that food, it has got tremendous power. See, even in families, the mother, when the child is sick, the mother cooks the food with that intention that may this food become like a medicine to my child, and may he gets nourishment, and may all the disease get removed, may he regain his health. With that intention and remembering Ishvara when she cooks and she feeds the child, it definitely benefits the child. He regains his health. His mind also start moving towards the higher thoughts, higher goals of life. So the food and mind connection is there, which is very important. And when it is said mind, it includes the mana, buddhi, chitta, and ahankar, and all the jnanendriyas. So mind is just a name for all this put together. The pancha jnanendriyas and the antakarana chatushta together are indicated by the term mana, mind here. See, now just see. Ishvara, who is that Brahma alone, is expressing as Hiranyagarbha, who alone is expressing as Vaishvanara, who alone is expressing as the Devatas, who alone are expressing as the plants. And those plants themselves are there in front of us as food, and we eat the food, and they express as our body, as our mind. So that Sat alone is our body, that Sat Brahma alone is our mind, that Sat Brahma alone is our senses, our karmendriyas, our jnanendriyas, everything is expression of that Sat Brahma alone. So here the teacher has reveal how that anna, which is the, the predominant earth element, gets divided into these three aspects when it reaches the human and also animal and birds. So birds also have their own mind, animals also have mind. So the food which is eaten, it nourishes the mind. Shankaracharya ji writes, ki manorupena viparinam mat manasa upachayam karoti. It nourishes the mind. And the food also, when it enters the body, Shankaracharya ji writes, Shankaracharya ji is all knowing actually. He is the avatar of Bhagwan, so he knows everything. He knows about medicine, he knows about science, he knows about astronomy, he knows about everything. He is all knowing. But whatever is important, he just mentions it just by the way. He said that rasadi kramena parinamya mamsam bhavati. That food which we eat through various rasa, it gets disintegrated into various juices, and then they what you call nourish our body, our muscles and all. Parinami mamsam bhavati. Yo anishtaha. But the subtlest portion of the food, anutamaha, which is extremely subtle, like an atom, atomic. Anutamaha dhatuhu sa urdhvam. It rises above. It goes into our antakarana, hridaya. Sa urdhvam hridayam prapya. It goes into our heart. Sukshmashu hita akhyasu nadishu, and it gets connected to the nadi with hita nama nadi. We have this nadi system in our whole body through which the pranas also they move. So nadishu anupravishya, entering the nadis and all, vagadi karana sanghatasya stitim utpadayan manobhavati, and there modifying with these nadis and moving through the nadis and getting connected with the vayu and all, it nourishes the mind, he says. See, our mind actually is in our in our heart. It is not in the brain. It is near our physical heart. Therefore, anything which we feel and all, we feel it in the heart. Even the sense of I is felt here. And when we understand something, when we feel it here in our heart. Even the sublime understanding of Bhagwan and all, it happens in our heart, not in our brain. That which happens in a brain is little bit more grosser only, but when it happens in the heart, it is subtler. So Shankaracharya says it reaches the heart, the food, and then it goes through the nadis and then finally nourishes the mind. So that is about food which we eat, but we also drink water, and also when we eat the plants or to make food from the meals from the plant and all, the rasa is also there, which we drink. So what happens to the rasa? What happens to the water elements? The Trivrat water, when it enters our system, what happens? That water also gets divided into three portions or three aspects. And then what happens? It is said now in the next mantra. Apaha pitaha tredha vidhiyante tasam yastavishto dhatuhu tanmutram bhavati yo madhyamaha tan lohitam yo anishtaha sapranaha. आपः पीताः त्रेधा विधीयन्ते तासां यः ष्टविष्ठो धातुः तन्मूत्रं भवति यो मध्यमः तन्लोहितं यो निष्ठः स प्राणः. It's also most fascinating. The water which we drink. Here water is not only the water which we drink, but also all the juices which we drink, which is derived from the plants, the fruits, the plants. The juices are also water only. They are different expressions of water. They are the Trivrit water. They are the water after going through the Trivrit Karanam. So the water which is digested by the plants which fall as the rain water and the sea water, even the waters from the ocean, the plants have the capacity to drink those water and then convert this water into different types of juices within them. And these juices, when we drink, then they further get divided into three. That which is gross gets eliminated from the body as urine. So, stavishtaha dhatuhu tan mutram bhavati. It becomes urine and then it gets eliminated. So, urine also actually after all the things are taken, the essence of the rasa is taken by the body. What is not required is it throws out of the body as urine, sometimes as perspiration also. So stavishto dhatuhu tanmutram bhavati. Then yo madhyamaha, then that which is the middle portion of that water, the not gross, not subtle, in between the essence of that water, it gets converted through various stages into blood and it nourishes our blood. The juices, they nourish our blood. See, some of the secrets which are revealed in the Upanishad, if even the worldly people or the scientists and the others who are interested, if they do research, they will learn a lot from this. And many years of other hard experimentation and all can be saved by just learning from this Upanishad the secrets of life. Even the whole Ayurveda system and all is born from this Vedas only. They are the Anga of the Vedas, and they are also based. Ayurveda is also based on these 5 elements, which are expressing as the 3 doshas, which we call the kapha, pitta, and vata. And the balance of kapha, pitta, vata in our body itself gives us proper health. And through this, if it gets a little disturbed, then through this herbs and plants and the rasa, bhasma and all, this again set into balance to again regain our health. So the middle portion of the water which is drunk goes to nourish the blood in our body. And yo anishtaha, and the interesting is the subtlest portion of the water. The subtlest portion of the water nourishes the pranas, the pancha pranas, pranapan vyan udan saman, that great power of Brahma, which expresses in this body as pancha pranas. Pranapan vyan udan saman, they also need their own nourishment. If they don't get the nourishment, then they just leave this body. So in this body, the pranas, they function gaining their nourishment from the water. Water means all the juices and all and nourish the pranas. Therefore, this most fascinating actually, that how these pranas are nourished by water. Later on, also in this story, Shvetaketu is told to fast for 15 days, but the teacher tells him that you keep drinking water, because if you drink water, then your pranas will not escape, they will remain in the body, and then you will not die. So, pranas are nourished by the subtlest portion. Therefore, in our culture, in our tradition, in this beautiful our Sanatan Dharma, the eternal Dharma, it will always remain actually. It will undergo ups and downs. In Kali Yuga, more it will go down only, but still it will remain because it is eternal Dharma. Only that which is eternal is true. That which is born in time and dies in time is not true. That which is always there and which is expression of that Ishvara, expression of Brahma, alone is true dharma. Others which are born in time, they die in time. Hmm. They're just like some fad, like some things like we see a movie when it is released, everyone goes to see it. Then after some time, we forget about it. So, in our Sanatan Dharma, one of the most beautiful tradition we have is when we go to various Tirtha Kshetras, we take a dip in the water. Actually, water plays a very important role in all Tirthas. If there is no water, then it is the Tirtha is not complete. If we go to Ayodhya, we have to take a dip in Saryu. If we go to Varanasi, we have to take a dip in Gangaji. Then only our thing gets completed proper. So we have this wonderful nadis, Narmada, Sindhu, Kaveri, and all. Not only the importance is there of taking a dip, because even when we take a dip in this divine holy rivers, it nourishes our body and it nourishes our pranas. And when we drink that water, that also nourishes our pranas directly. It is concentrated, subtle aspect of water which gives nourishment to the body and the pranas. Many people, when they become very sick and very much almost dying, they have the desire that, oh, if I die in Varanasi, I will gain moksha. So they somehow convince their family members that please leave me in Varanasi. I will just stay there in my last days and die. So somehow, almost dying, he goes to Varanasi. And then somehow she takes a dip in Gangaji and feels little fresh, energetic, and goes and does Abhishek of Bhagwan, Kashi Vishwanath Bhagwan. He does Abhishek with the holy waters of the river, and then again gets up in the morning, takes bath, does namaskar to Bhagwan, do some pradakshina here, there, and chant Bhagwan's name and all. And after a few days, he feels so energetic, so alive, that the whole idea that I am about to die just disappears. He remains there quite healthy for a long time, chanting Bhagwan's name and leading a very sattvic life. So the waters of these holy rivers, also when we do the puja, etc., we invoke the holy rivers. Gange Chayamane Cheva Godavari Saraswati Narmade Sindhu Kaveri Jalesmin Sannidhim Kuru. That, oh holy rivers, please come and abide in this water. Because this subtlest aspect can be invoked anywhere, anytime, and it can nourish our mind, it can nourish our body, it can nourish our pranas. That is the most beautiful thing. You can just have any ordinary water, but when you invoke the holy rivers in that water, the subtlest aspect of that water gets energized. And when you drink it, it gives nourishment to our pranas. And if the pranas are well nourished, our body will remain healthy. So, through this Trivrat Karanam within our body, the water gets divided into these three. So the gross water goes out as urine, the middle portion of the water nourishes our blood, and the also becomes the content of the blood, and the subtlest portion of water nourishes the pranas, pancha pranas. Then the third thing which we eat, that is fire. We eat fire also. Fire means we eat oil, we eat ghee. See, oil which is derived from the plants, the seed and all, and even the ghee. Actually, the animals, they eat the plants, and their milk actually contains the essence of the plant, and especially the cow. The cow has got the great ability to eat the grass and digest the grass. Means disintegrate the grass completely. Means take the complete essence of the grass. Cow is the only creature who has got this power to digest grass completely. Grass, actually, the durvas and all, contains the greatest energy derived from the sun. So when the grass is eaten by that cow, that essence of that grass goes into its milk. And that milk, when we convert it into what you call dahi, and then into butter and ghee, that ghee contains the entire energy of that sun, because it has gone through that process of Trivrat Karanam. So that ghee is the fire only. The fire which is there in the sun is there in that ghee. And that when we eat, it further gets divided into us, into three portions. And what are the three portions? In this next mantra, the teacher says, तेजोषितं त्रेधा विधीयते तस्य यस्तविष्टो धातुः तदस्ति भवति यो मध्यमः स मज्जा यो निष्ठः सा वाक् तेजोषितं त्रेधा विधीयते तस्य यस्तविष्टो धातुः तदस्ति भवति यो मध्यमः स मज्जा यो निष्ठः सा वाक्. That the fire which we eat means the ghee and the oil which we eat, it also gets divided into three. Tejo asitam tredha videyate tasya yastavishtaha. Of that ghee or oil which is solid, means which is gross, it goes to make our bones. Tad asti bhavati. It goes to nourish our bones. Therefore, the pure, properly, when we gain this thing, when it is we human beings, when they process this oil and all, make it refined and all, they loses all its nourishments. Actually, it's very harmful also. But when we get it from the plants as it is created by nature, when we eat the nuts and the things like even the badam and all, it contains the ghee, oil which goes into our system. So this oil, ghee, which we take from the plant, they get further divided into three, and the solid thing, it goes to nourish our bones. Our bones get nourished. The bones get it gets converted into bones. It gets nourished. Then madhyamaha, the middle portion of that oil, ghee, goes to nourish the bone marrows. In our bone, there is the hollow portion is there, which contains actually the very essence of all the juices and the most important nourishment which is required for the entire body is there, hidden in the bone marrows. The bone marrows actually are very, very powerful. And they get nourishment from the oil and ghee which we eat. And the subtlest portion of the oil, ghee, the subtlest portion of the fire which we eat, goes to nourish our vak. Vak is speech, but it represents all karmendriyas. Vak represents all karmendriyas. So all our hands, legs, the organ of urination, organ of excretion, speech, all these karmendriyas get nourished by the fire which we eat. And this requires more contemplation, thinking, very subtle. More about this we will see in our next class. But you to think about it, contemplate, understand. You may not hear about it in any other Upanishad. This thing is not there in any other Upanishad. It is revealed here only in Chandogya Upanishad in such a beautiful way. And the whole process of Trivrit Karanam is so fascinating, which is often neglected by many modern Vedanti because they consider this whole world as mithya. Therefore, they don't think about it because it is mithya, it is not there. But that is a wrong understanding. World is not mithya, world is the beautiful expression of that most fascinating Ishvara, most fascinating Brahma. Brahma is not mithya. Brahma is most amazing, most wonderful. So more about this we will see in our class on Friday. So till then you take care, be happy, safe, peaceful, healthy, do your work, do your sadhana, and see you on Friday. Hari Om. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 Jaya Jaya Ram. Jaya Jaya Ram. Bole Siyaram Chandra Bhagwan ki Jai. ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम।